I love Israel and honor and respect the Jewish faith and tradition. And it's important that we have a president who feels the same way.
Trump-like Semitism.
Hello to Rabbi Zimmerman and Yeshiva student Mendel.
For me, respect and reverence for Judaism is personal. My daughter Ivanka and my son-in-law Jared are raising their children in the Jewish faith, always reminding me the important values and lessons we learn about leadership, resolve, and families in Jewish tradition. My administration will stand side by side with the Jewish people and Israel's leaders to continue strengthening the bridges that connect not only Jewish Americans and Israelis, but also all Americans and Israelis. Together, we will stand up to the enemies like Iran, bent on destroying Israel and her people. Together, we will make America and Israel safe again.
How about Arab-Israeli Semitism?
10 times more Israeli Arabs are joining Israel's army than 3 years ago.
These are Arabs that want to fight for Israel.
صراحة أنا بشجع إنه كله يفوت على الجيش إنه يتقدم بحياتهم يشوفوا مستقبلهم هون كمان.
And just like their Jewish counterparts, they take great risk in doing so.
أنا تعرضت لكثير انتقادات قالوا لي إنه أنا خاينة إنه أنا عميلة صهيونية.
There's been a wave of lone wolf attacks by Palestinians on Israelis. So why are their fellow Arabs joining the Israeli Defense Force?
Could it be because even Arabs can see anti-Semitism for what it really is? And it's not just in Israel. How about the UK?
We will get calls from visibly Jewish people, whether it's in London, North Manchester, Gateshead, Leeds, other places, who tell us that on a regular basis when they walk to and from synagogue, they get abuse shouted at them by people on street corners, by people from passing cars. They may get stones or coins thrown at them. And for too many people, this is something they feel they have to put up with because it's just part of being Jewish.
And this isn't hearsay, it's now backed up by a government report.
The report shows an 11% rise in anti-Semitic incidents in the first half of this year compared to 2015. It also shows the number of people in Britain with anti-Semitic attitudes rose by 50% in just 12 months. And as many as 1 in 20 adults in the UK could now be characterised as clearly anti-Semitic.
12, 13-year-old boys in London being attacked.
We were getting onto a bus and a car was driving by, and seeing as we were wearing our suits and our kippah on our head, the car slowed down and shouted, "You Jewish."
I was just thinking, why do they feel that way just because we're Jewish? I just felt it was unfair, and I just hadn't experienced anything like this before.
And just in London this week, attacks on the Jewish community by so-called Palestinian sympathisers.
So what the Friends of Israel Society has done is that they brought in a war criminal, someone who's been a lieutenant in the IDF in the West Bank, in the occupied West Bank, to come here and speak to UCL.
To accuse somebody who's in the Israeli Defense Force of being a war criminal is so utterly despicable. It makes me wonder why the world continues to tolerate anti-Semitism the way they do.
There's no dialogue with killers, there's no dialogue with soldiers, there's dialogue with academics, fair enough, and we're willing to have that debate, but don't bring killers onto my campus.
I don't think that even in my days in the IDF it was as bad as it is right now. It's really scary. I hear that they've been attacking some girls, Jewish girls that came to support and to my talk, and it's, wow, it's crazy.
In the West, we treasure freedom of speech. We've spoken so many times about this, and yet, consistently, this isn't an attack on our right of freedom of speech. This is physical abuse, and it has to stop.
May the Lord protect and defend. May the Lord preserve you from pain.
Shabbat, the seventh day of rest, not only told through an iconic movie like Fiddler on the Roof, but played out in every Jewish household, every week of every year.
We fill the cup to the top and we actually let it overflow. It's a symbol of abundance and it's a blessing for prosperity. So the bread actually remains covered as to not embarrass the bread while we say the blessing over the wine. We uncover it once we're done with the kiddush. All right, join us in the kitchen where we're going to wash our hands. So we wash our hands for bread, and that removes all the spiritual impurity off our hands.
Amen.
Yes, it's that time of the year again. The Shabbat project is upon us, and people from across the globe will be keeping the rules of Shabbos and enjoying 24-25 hours of peace and tranquility, immediately followed by a significant party, no doubt. So whatever you're doing on the 11th and 12th of November, switch off your phone, switch off your computer, and then prepare to party. Shabbat Shalom.
Night. We love it! Argentina!
We love the Shabbat Project!